As promised during my last video, I did spend some time working on my weights, so the neck looks a lot better now. I had a bit of trouble with the eye stalks, and in the end, I decided to cheat a little bit and just create some new blend shapes specifically for each eye stalk at the 5, 7, and 10 retraction settings. Basically, I sculpted the eye stalk to smooth out any weird little janky bits that I could not get the painted weights to fix at each of these 3 points. Made a blend shape out of each of them and just keyframed it with a set-driven key so that the blend shape would smooth it out and make it not look completely messed up. It's still not perfect. This part right here I could never quite get to work the way I wanted it to, but it is good enough to move on from. Now, the things I wanted to do with this video was I want to finish up a couple things and then clean up the controls. First things first, I'm not going to need these anymore. I'm just going to delete those, clear that out. And secondly, while I could use the reverse footlock skeleton in here to control my foot, it is kind of a pain in the neck to have to select all that. Instead, what I like to do is add new channels to my leg controls, add attribute. I'm going to make a control for the heel, the ball of the foot, and the toe. So I'll start with heel. Instead of using the float data type, I'm going to set this to vector. And that does is it's going to create X, Y, and Z for the heel automatically, then the ball, and then the toe. I have X, Y, and Z for each one of those joints, and then connect those to the IKs. I'm not going to use a set-driven key for this, though. That requires me to have a minimum and maximum. I'm just going to have it directly take this number right here, whatever this number is, and apply it directly to the rotations on this object. So to do that, Windows, General Editor, Connection Editor. Now on the left, we have a list of all the attributes for the currently selected object. If I scroll down, I'll see my 3 newest. You can see right here, because it's a vector, it's got a plus sign to open that up so I can see the X, Y, and Z parts. Next, I'll grab the heel joint. I'm going to tell us to reload right. And I can see all the different attributes for my heel joint. So I'm going to select the heel control on my control object. That hides everything that's not a vector. You can see how these vector ones are light colored. The non-vectors, the scalars, are dark gray. So that means I can't use those. That makes it a little bit easier to find what I'm looking for. There it is, right there, rotate. And so by clicking these 2 attributes, they are now connected. You can even see this turns yellow right here. All right. Next, I'll arrow down, get to the ball of the foot. Select ball, reload right, and rotate again. Let's tell us to reload right again. There's the toe, select rotate. And now, all 3 of those joints are being controlled by my control object. To the right side, I'll click on my right one, reload left, click on my heel joint, reload right. Always make sure you click on the reloads when you're doing something new. Heel, rotate, reload, ball, rotate, reload, toe, rotate, and that's it. Next, I'm going to create one gigantic control object, one big circle that's going to control the entire rig. Modify, freeze, edit, delete type history. I will name this main control. And now I'm going to select. Oh, I forgot something. This is supposed to be parented by root. Control, there we go. Like that. Select these. Shift select the main, P for parent. Now they're all being controlled by that. I did not do my arms yet because, remember, the arms are actually not the top of this hierarchy. If I hit my up arrow, I want to grab my group. instead and parent that to my main control. There. Now everything moves with this. Don't try to scale it though. It's not going to work very well. And speaking of that, next I want to clean up my control objects. Like I just said, I don't want to allow my animators to do something that they shouldn't, like try to scale this. So I'm going to do something called lock and hide. I'm going to select the X, Y, and Z scales, right click and hold, lock and hide selected. Now this cannot be scaled. Like say the feet right here. I want to be able to move them. I want to be able to rotate them, but I don't want to scale. I'm also going to lock visibility, so I don't turn those off and on again. I'll leave that on the main control, so I can turn off the entire rig if I need to. But I'm not going to leave that on the individual parts. So right-click, lock and hide. No more scale, so just going to translate, rotate, and then the heel, ball, and toe. Might as well do these at the same time because they're the same idea. These only move. They don't need to rotate. Oops, maybe set that back to 0. I don't know how long I left that like that, but whatever. These only translate. They don't need to rotate, scale, or be turned off in visibility. So I'm just going to right-click, lock and hide. Oh, I never did anything with these, did I? I completely forgot about these. Why are you being controlled by that? The right side should not have anything to do with this. The left side should have nothing to do with this one. That's better. Oh, how much control do I want to give this? You know what? I may just leave that alone for the time being and leave these to be controlled with the joints rather than trying to create controls for them right now. I want to worry about the rest of the stuff I had planned. Alright. Where was I? Oh, yes. A lot of these controls only rotate. These only rotate. This only rotates. These don't need to move anywhere. Except, well, those just look like they're selected, but they're not actually selected. So I can get rid of my translate and my scale. These move and rotate. I'm going to get rid of the scale. I think these ones only need those to move, so I can get rid of rotate and scale. Select hierarchy, and these only need to rotate. I'm holding down control in order to select more than one of these channels, by the way. And it won't make sense for these to move. They should only rotate, so select hierarchy. Control, lock and hide. Did I control those? Yes, but I also want to grab my groups right here. Just like everything, I'm going to lock and hide all of this. Matter of fact, I just remember these are all in groups as well. Yep, that's what I thought. Up arrow to grab that group. I'm going to lock and hide everything here. Up arrow, I'll lock and hide this too. I don't want someone accidentally messing with the groups, so that's why I'm locking these. I don't believe these are in a group. No. Next, I'll go to my outliner, Windows Outliner. There's my skeleton. Here are all the IKs. I'm going to grab those, group them. IK group. I'm going to hit H to hide that, so I don't have to worry about that getting in the way. My stocks group. What's this? These are empty. And get rid of those. If I see a group with nothing next to it, see this group has a little plus sign. If there's no plus sign, that means this group is empty. I can delete it. Yeah, nothing in there. Group right here. I'll name that geometry group. And I want to make sure that everything in here has a name. That's my right eyeball. Left eyeball. Eye stalks. That's the tail. E-guards. Front. Chainmail. Shin guards. All the hand armor, I guess. Grab all these. Group those. Bolts group. Let's name these L bolts. R bolts. By armor. I know there are technical terms for all these different pieces of armor. I'm not going to try to learn them just for this. Head. Like chainmail. Left chainmail. I'm not 100% convinced I'm spelling chainmail correctly. What armor? Not sure what else to call this. Helmet, obviously. Faceplate. Sure, that's one word or two. I don't know. It's called fabric clips because I can't think of anything else. Boots. Leather straps. These are blend shapes. I'm going to unparent them from the main geometry group. Blend shapes group. There we go. If I want, I can I can group these together so that they're a bit more organized. We start our group. Well, I don't want to keep these in the boot there or not. I don't think so. I should probably put that with the snail. There we go. And maybe we'll put that the leg armor. There. Now everything's organized. Let's hide that in there too. In the end, I decided I just couldn't leave out the controls for the armor and the chainmail. So I'm going to turn my skeleton back on. I selected my outliner, hitting H. I brought in a new spherical control object. I'm just going to turn off my geometry and start duplicating, snapping these onto the joints. Sure that they're still large enough to see without being too overwhelming. Yes, that'll work. That'll be good enough. Oh, at this point, I no longer need my layers. I can keep them in there just for the sake of using easy selections for my materials, but I don't actually need them for the object itself. I can just turn off the group right here if I want. Locate that. Oops, missed one. Freeze transformations. Let's say it's a little hard to see what's going on with all the extra stuff in the background. There you go. Now I can see it. Start parenting these up the chain. Now, I think I'm gonna make a few shortcuts. Let's see here. Select this, select hierarchy, L, chainmail, control. There you go. Should not have done that. I'll just do it. Oh, it's because of the different shapes stuck underneath it. I'll do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. That's better. Whatever. Good enough. And to speed things up rather than doing it for both sides, I'm going to duplicate these. Oh, I'm going to undo that real quick. I'm going to group them first. That when I duplicate them, they won't get the numbers messed up. Negative. Bring it over here. Freeze my transformations. Unparent those from the groups and delete the groups. Now, these I'm going to parent to the torso control because the chainmail is stuck to that. These I'll parent to my root control. At least I think that's how I have it working. Let me see here. They all should be controlled by the torso, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it makes more sense. All right. Orient constraints all the way down the chain. There we go. So I just lock all those layers just so I don't accidentally select them when I'm grabbing my controls. And now, there we go. I can adjust all of those, although slightly annoying. I'm annoyed by the fact that I cannot see these controls from the inside. I should have made them a little bit larger. Works for everything else except for these ones. I can just barely see it right there. Snap step. Ah, there we go. I can make that all larger. That way I can keep both sides the same. I like symmetry. There we go. And now when the leg goes forward, I can adjust the armor plating right here to go forward with it instead of going through the leg. One less thing I need to do. Same thing I did for everything else. Sort out the channels with my lock and hide. See if this causes an issue. It was alright so far. Only need these to rotate. There. This one probably shouldn't be rotating at all, should it? Because that makes the base of this rotate. So I'm going to redo that slightly. I'm going to parent these ones to the torso and delete these. Yeah, that I'm fine with. All right. And that is it for the Snail Knight. Hope you enjoyed watching this. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see me make next.